Alright, everybody, welcome to Health Talk with Nurse Collins. And today we are going to be talking about something that is important. We are going to be talking about mental health, and it's a topic I titled Stress Reduction Through Design. I know this topic doesn't seem like a regular topic. We don't really talk about mental health as it is that much, and it is important that we visit mental health. We talk about it. Now, this topic today, I'm going to be focusing on some certain things. The key highlight or outline of this discussion today. Number one is the impact of surroundings, on our mental well-being. We'll also talk about creating calm spaces at home. It's important. We'll talk about utilizing colors for soothing atmosphere. Then lastly, we'll talk about strategies. By strategies, I mean lighting strategies for stress reduction. So we'll just go straight up to number one. And before we jump into the topic main, I would love for you to hit on the subscribe button or the follow button wherever you are listening this podcast from. Search for Nurse Collins. Make sure you follow us, comment. That's how YouTube or whatever platform you are listening from would recommend this podcast to other persons. Thank you for doing that. So straight up, let's talk about the impact of surrounding, on our mental well-being. Our surrounding play an important role in influencing our mental health and overall well-being. You and I will agree with that. In fact, numerous studies have been able to demonstrate a direct correlation between a positive environment and reduced stress levels. That research was done recently. Some factors such as clutter, sputter, noise can, significantly affect our psychological state. That's why I always tell my client, advise my patients to stay in an environment that promotes your psychological state, your mental well-being. In the impacts of surrounding on our mental health, things I would love for us to note, because I wouldn't want this podcast to be too long that we don't hit the main points. I'm not here to bore you. I'm here to educate. I'm here to make sure that you understand something and take home something. Okay. I would also want us to know that the psychological stress response to chaotic environments is quite alarming. So our response to some environments can trigger some certain things in us. So let's watch where we stay. Now also, the role of a well-organized and tidy space in promoting mental clarity cannot be overemphasized. It's important that we know that. So important. I can say that over and over and over again. Also that the importance of creating zones of tranquility within the home is also important. Now, these three things I've mentioned, if you can put them into play, our environment would impact our well-being, our mental health, and the rest. Okay? So quickly, let's talk about creating calm space at home. This one, so many persons might have issues with it, and I'll help you understand it so that it will be quite simple for all of us. Now, designating specific areas within your home for relaxation and stress relief is essential. But mind you, now when you live, for instance, in a one-room apartment where almost everything is jam-packed, you might feel like that's not a good place. But we'll talk about colors very soon, but making sure that that environment is tidy. That's why I had to talk about the environment. Making sure that the environment is tidy can impact our well-being, our mental health. So, in the case where we are living in just a one-room apartment, we can organize our space. We can make it, a very good-looking space. Don't make your home look boring. Sometimes, see, mental health is important. Little things matter a lot. So, transforming your existing space into sanctuaries where individuals can retreat for, rejuvenation is a key thing. So that's your one room apartment. If you could get, painting, look for some certain stuff to add to your room, flowers, those can promote your mental health. All right. So some practical tips I would give out is for us to identify a quiet corner or room. That is those of us that have a big house or that lives more than a room. You could do that. You could dedicate one of your rooms to a relaxation spot. It's cool. Also, consider incorporating some comfortable seating, soft furnishing, and some elements that can, boost a sense of calmness. It's important. If you live in one room, make sure that that's your one room. Your seats, everything is calm. It's okay. All right. Lastly, I would love for us to, establish boundaries to protect this space from daily stressors. Now, saying this, it might look like it's a big word. When you establish some boundaries. Now, let me talk to some of us that might be living in one room. Now, you want to ask yourself, how do I set boundaries? When I am living in just one room, how do I set boundaries to protect myself from daily stressors? For instance, you go out, you walk, you come back. By the time you step your foot into your home, make sure, be deliberate about it. Tell yourself, today I want to rest. I don't want to think about things that will take me off. If you have some calm, soothing music you can play, making sure that you are in that your safe space that is okay. Making sure that your environment promotes mental well-being. I promise you are going to be okay. When you are stressed from work and you come back, you look at your ceiling, it's looking so funny. Your word, they are not telling anything. You come down to your chairs, everything is scattered. It would just take you off balance. So your environment plays a key role also in everything I'm going to be talking about. All right. So I'll quickly talk about utilizing colors for a soothing atmosphere. Remember when I was talking about this topic, I made sure that I gave out the outlines of this topic, and we are still talking about stress reduction, how you can reduce stress through design. Okay, that's our topic today, and I told you that in this topic, the course outline under this topic is that we're going to be talking about the impact of our surroundings on mental health, which I've talked about already. Also, I talked about creating calming spaces at home. Now, I want to talk about utilizing colors for a soothing atmosphere. Now, color psychology plays a crucial role in affecting our emotional and our mood. Now, our emotion, and our mood. Color psychology. If I believe the psychiatrist or psychologist that will be listening to me would comment on something right now. They use this a lot. They use this to promote their therapy. So color play a crucial role, plays an important role in affecting our emotions, in affecting our mood. Alright, so cool tones such as blue, colors such as green are known to are known for that their calming effect. Just try it. That's why so many persons. I'll speak for Nigeria now. So many Nigerians, unknowingly to them, they just like that blue light. If you go to most home, they turn on the blue light. It gives this calming effect. You could try it. Okay, so I've given you some updates. Okay, so neutral tones like soft gray and some other colors can create a serene environment, peaceful atmosphere. I love the way colors blend with us. I love the way colors help us to be in this particular mood. You'd agree with me that most times when they turn on the bright lights for you, you don't want to sleep. But when they turn on some kind of colors, you might want to fall asleep. Now I'll be giving us some implementation tips as usual. So one of them is to consider painting your wall, or you add some decoration in calming colors. So remember, this podcast was brought to you by Adorable Interior. They are into interior and exterior decorations. They transform your building into something else, into something amazing. Okay, so how do you put this into practice? What I've been saying now, one of the implementation tips I just want to give is, for you to consider painting your wall or adding some decoration in calming color. And some of the calming color I just talked about is the blue, green. You could contact a good interior decorator like Adorable Interior. They can go into your home, evaluate, and then help you, give you the best. Okay, I would love for us to also integrate these colors into our furnitures, our textiles, and some of our accessories to help. Then we should also balance different tunes to create some visually appealing and relaxing environment. In fact, I have a spot in my room that when you see, you would want to fall in love. You want to relax and sleep. That's how it's supposed to be. Let me not talk too much again. Okay, now we are going to be talking about lighting strategies for stress reduction. Because of this topic, I would be adding one or two bonus for us that are listening, and let's just get straight up into it. Talking about some lighting strategies for stress reduction. So both neutral and artificial lighting can significantly impact our well-being. It just depends on the mood that we are. Remember, I talked about if you want to sleep, for instance, you just turn on the bright light, you might feel somehow, but when you turn on some calming colors, you might want to feel sleepy, or you might want to sleep. Vice versa, the same thing can still happen. Okay, maybe you are trying to be productive, you're trying to work, and you see the blue lights. It might want to put you into the other mood, but when you turn on the bright light, it might help you. Okay. All right. So maximizing neutral light sources enhances our mood. It provides a connection to the external environment that we live in so much. And I also tell my patient to adjust lighting for different times of the day and activity that they are, because this is crucial for their mental well-being as well. Now, what are the guidelines for a better lighting? I'm not a photographer. The interior decorators can go into this in detail, but from the perspective that I'm coming from someone that has understood some certain things regarding this, I'll give you my little tip. And I would love for us to optimize light by positioning furniture strategically, and using some light colored curtains. I do that. I by the side of my, talking about my bedroom again. It's like my bedroom is like the cool spot, or in my room, in my house. Sorry, I position it there. It gives this little thing that sparks calmness for me. So just look for a way to position your furniture strategically, so that you can utilize some colored curtains. It makes sense. I would also love us to invest in adjustable lighting fixtures, so that we don't just buy something that is stagnant. You might want to change it some other time. So any light you are trying to get, just get some adjustable ones that you can take, and change the position. I hope you're listening attentively. And if you're just joining in right now, hit the subscribe button, follow button. Please do that. That's how you support me. That's how the streaming platform that you are listening from recommend me to other podcast listeners as well. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. I'm really, really, really grateful. So, lastly, under the guidelines of better lighting, I want us to avoid harsh, overheated lighting. It doesn't help. When it's too sharp, when it's too bright, when it's harsh, it's not good. So I would love for us to, opt for softer, warmer lights. It gives this cozy ambience. Alright. Initially, I wanted to stop here, but as a way of giving bonus, I'll be adding one or two to just close it up. Okay. I'm going to be talking about integrating of colors and lighting in design. I stated some certain things. Right now, we want to blend two things together. Now we are blending colors and lights. Remember, we talked about light separately, and I talked about color separately. Now it is time for us to blend these two together. So harmonizing colors and lights is a key thing to achieving cohesive and calm design. Whether you like it or not, photographers will agree with me. They would agree with me in this. So selecting like a complementary color scheme can create a visually pleasant environment, or pleasing environment, as the case may be. So when you try to balance natural and artificial lighting source, it would also enhance, overall aesthetic of our environment, or of our space. Okay, so in this now, how do you create the harmony? How do you blend them? How do they come together? How does color and lighting, spark? I would love for us to experiment with colors that, the combination and lighting arrangement makes sense. So it is good when you experiment. It will help you. So experiment with different color combination and lighting arrangement. You'll find the one that you love and calm for you. But if you cannot do that, you could get an interior decorator to help you do that. Alright. Also ensure that the choosing colors and lighting fixtures align with your overall design theme. So for instance, if you if your house was painted green, look for a light that can blend with it, so your room doesn't look like some shrines. You should look for something that will blend. Don't just throw anyhow stuff anyhow. It doesn't make sense. So also regularly reassess and make adjustments based on personal preferences as seasonal change. Now this particular one, the reason why I brought it up is because of a friend I have. I wouldn't want to mention his name, but by the time he listens to this podcast, he would know that he is the one. He doesn't really like a static environment. So for instance, if his room is as beautiful as ever, it will remain that way. He loves to, change his room, his space. He loves to try something new. He loves to make sure that his environment is not the same all the time. So he welcomes new ideas. So he does that a whole lot. That's why I had to bring this point out. So lastly, let us talk about the practical steps for everybody. The practical step for me and for you. I would encourage you to assess your own living space, identify the stressors in your space. Then I'll also suggest some simple changes that you can implement immediately to reduce that stress. So if you've been able to identify the stressor, now the next thing to do is to suggest some simple changes. Don't go and look for complex things to immediately reduce your stressor or stress reduction, as the case may be. Then you could provide a checklist for creating a calming environment that is tailored to your preference. This is where the job of an interior decorator can come in. They would ask some questions, to make sure that you understand your preferences and they use it. So you could have, a personal action plan. You can participate in creating a personalized plan. Creating a personalized plan. Outlining some specific change you want to have. You could regularly review your update plan, just like my friend usually do. Then look for a way to make sure that you are happy in your environment. Make sure that you are always happy in your environment. In conclusion, I want us to know that our environment can impact us. Our environment can help us reduce our stress. Our environment can make us to be okay mentally. That is what I'm trying to say. And also, the role we play in our environment is a key thing to our mental health. So your space is a space that should be in order, no matter the kind of place you are living. Even if you are living in one room, like I said earlier, it won't take you much to put your home in order, to arrange your stuffs, get a bag and put your clothes in that bag, have a section where some dirty clothes are. You could buy a very affordable curtain and cover that aspect, making sure that your room is tidy. When it's tidy alone, it promotes mental well-being. Anyways, I am so happy that we have gotten to the end of this podcast. Honestly, I never knew it was going to be this long, but it's educative. All right. So thank you for listening to this podcast. I still remain your humble host, Nurse Collins, and see you again on my next podcast. That reminds me, we are doing a new series on why you can't get pregnant or reasons why you can't get pregnant. Do well to check it, go through it. I've dropped the introduction. We're talking about some other things that I mentioned in that podcast. Thank you. God bless you.